Hi, I'm Nasreen Amri, the founder of Carrorism.
And I'm Fonde Bridges, the Carrorist spokesperson.
Well, welcome to Carrorist Conversations. This is episode 11, Pursuing the Optimum.
Yes, yeah.
So, what I love about the optimum, and maybe, it's good to go into what the definition of that is. It's the most favorable outcome, the most favorable conditions or level for growth, reproduction, so to speak. Like the best,
You're saying
supreme.
optimum, right?
Yeah, the optimum, the best, the supreme, ideal, the highest, the finest.
Yeah.
The optimum.
You know what I like about that definition is it says the most favorable, which means that it is obtainable, that it actually can be accomplished because you're seeking to do the most favorable thing. It's not the ideal even. It's the optimum.
Right.
So I like that.
And why this is one of the principles, because you choose to follow your heart as a carrorist, and then you pursue that with your hero consciousness, and you pursue the optimum, the best, the most favorable outcome for yourself. And for me personally, why I got to this is because I didn't believe that I deserved the best. I didn't believe that I could go for the best. And
fair enough.
When you believe it, you can achieve it.
And to back that up a little bit, the reason why I enjoy it so much is this notion of being the best version of yourself. And Carrorism as a positive psychology practice, as you practice, you improve, and you discover strengths and weaknesses, and you get to work on it along the way. So becoming the best version of yourself is I like to think of it as like this ongoing challenge where you achieve and then you achieve again and then you achieve again and then you achieve again.
Keep on climbing.
Yeah, right. You keep moving into higher states of self, better versions of yourself. So I like it because you acquire the optimum that you can be, and you are greeted with something that challenges you on that level, and then you get to level up. I think about my boys playing so many video games where you work as hard as you can to get through level 1, and then you find out there are 100 levels. But you're great on level 1, and it's funny too because by the time you get to level 10, level 1 seems easy.
Right.
Yeah. So all right.
Let's do the healthy word of the day.
Okay. I get to pick?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to go with this little orange guy here. One of my favorites, celebrate. See what the definition of that is. I'm all into that one, Slim. I really enjoy celebrating. Let's see here. Definition of celebrate. It's a verb, by the way, something you can do. It says here, acknowledge a significant or happy day or event with a social gathering or enjoyable activity. So in quarantine, maybe you can't all get together, but you can still yourself do an enjoyable activity to celebrate. And then number 2. Perform a religious ceremony publicly and duly. In particular, officiate. I don't know. I don't know if that. I didn't even know. Celebrate. And then finally, number 3. Honor or praise publicly.
Okay.
I like that. I like honoring and praising publicly, celebrating one another.
Right.
Something that we all can do. All right, so that's the healthy word of the day, celebrate.
Perfect.
And I'm celebrating right now.
Well, I think when you're pursuing the optimum, it's definitely key to celebrate yourself. Yes.
That's great. I like that.
Yeah, like these earrings, I put them on, so I feel like I'm
Saw
celebrating.
you pop in with those earrings on. I
Celebrating
asked you
myself.
what the special occasion was, and you said
I was like, I didn't say the word celebrate, but I definitely brought that energy.
You did, and
to the party.
You actually, what you said to me was, "I feel great. I thought I'd just put on these earrings."
Yep.
So, celebration. I like it. All right, so you going first or me?
Yeah, I'll go. So, in pursuing the optimum.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna go this route with a quote because of something that you just said about becoming the best version of yourself, which is the goal in practicing your positive psychology. And so, this is a quote. America is America because we overcome adversity and challenges, and that is what's going to make this generation great. And this person framed the crisis, this pandemic that we're going through.
Current one?
Current one.
Okay.
The COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, as a challenge for the people to demonstrate their better selves. So that's their best selves, their optimum selves.
Right?
Yeah, and show their humanity and compassion and kindness with themselves and one another. So the person that I'm celebrating today as a wonderful leader, but definitely currently one of my favorite carrorists is Andrew Cuomo.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Governor of New York.
Governor of New York.
Yeah,
I like that guy.
I know you do.
He says a lot of sensible things.
Yes.
He's funny too.
He
At least to me.
He is pretty funny, especially and I think the little ongoing banter between his brother and
his younger brother.
Yeah,
I forget.
Well, I think that really it's heartwarming. It's been see his humanity.
His younger brother got is it Chris? I think it's Chris Cuomo. He got COVID, and then his family. So, and I just one of my favorite things. Andrew Cuomo said to him was, "Well, I told you to social distance. You chose to go your own route, so. But I know you'll make it through," is what he told him, and he is. He's better. He's good. So that's great.
So he's definitely is pursuing the optimum for New York, but also as a leader, he is showcasing an optimum brand of leadership that I think inspires others around the world. Because he's responded like so wholeheartedly to the crisis.
I think I see that.
And empathetically, and just rose to the challenge. And as a leader, he's really inspiring confidence, in the people, and that they can get through this. But I love that he goes about things by delivering facts instead of ideology. And I think that is
opinion. Right. Opinion. And he does actually give it. He says, "I'll give you the facts, and then eventually I may or may not give you my opinion." So
right.
Yeah.
So I've appreciated that about him, and I want to celebrate him today for that very reason. And not all leaders are, I would say, built for 4 seasons, but he is showcasing that at this time. So
he's definitely pursuing the optimal. I like that, and communicating that and encouraging everyone else to do it. Well, what's interesting? Are you good?
Yeah.
Because I get excited about these characters that I find on the planet. So what's interesting is that the person I chose was born in 1925. Okay.
We're moving ahead here a little bit.
Sometimes. Yeah. I pick a quote and I find the person. So I never know who the person is. Okay. And if I do know them, I assume most people do, so maybe I don't pick someone that everybody knows. But the person that I chose could be considered the father of leadership. He is like the forefather, one of the beginning thinkers of creating the schools of leadership. The way we think about leadership in the modern age has a lot to do with him and his influence. So anyway, I'll go on and tell us what.
I was just going to say, very side note, but and serendipitous, because I was just celebrating someone who showcases optimum leadership. Yeah. And you are researching someone who's known to be the father of leadership, so I'm very fascinated.
I think I'm framing it as father of leadership, but that was just my frame. I mean, technically he is. I just don't think anyone else has framed it that way. And you know what? I think I'm showing leadership by stepping out and being the first to communicate that.
Thank you. Very courageous.
So, born in 1925, this American soldier, scholar, organizational consultant, author, and actually the founding chairman of the Leadership Institute for the University of Southern California, which is where we were last fall. So that was kind of cool. Think about him there and starting the Institute for Leadership. He served in World War II in 1943 as one of the youngest infantry officers, was awarded the Purple Heart and Bronze Star. All right. By 1951, he earned his BA, and by 1955, he had earned his PhD from MIT. He went on, and those were in economics and social science. He went on by 67 to move out of academia, which is where he was at MIT teaching for a while.
Okay.
He became a professor, but by 67, he wanted to implement instead of simply theorize. So he moved from theory into practice, becoming the provost of the state of New York, the University of Buffalo. And do you know what a provost is? I didn't really know what a provost is, but it's like...
I mean, I've heard it used, but...
Yeah, and so it's interesting because I didn't really hear the term, but it's really like the head educator over all of the professors at a particular university.
Okay, gotcha.
Right, so that was pretty interesting. And then in 73, during his presidency at the University of Cincinnati, he wrote his first book on leadership. 3 years later, he, in 76, went on to write his second book. The first book was titled The Leaning Ivory Tower. And thank you. And the second book is The Unconscious Conspiracy: Why Leaders Can't Lead. In 79, he had a heart attack, and he calmed down his activities from being president. He stepped down to work at the University of South California, and he would go on to write 25 more books. So I don't know if calming down is an accurate way of describing it, but that is how it was expressed to me. He wrote 25 more books. He became the advisor to multiple presidents of the United States. He consulted numerous Fortune 500 companies and became the chair on the advisory board of the Center for Public Leadership at Harvard University's Kennedy School. All right, public leadership at Harvard University's Kennedy School. Now, the quote. Now, you know what? I'll give you the name first. So the man's name is Warren Venus. Guy I never heard of.
I never heard of him either.
Never heard of this guy. And what he wrote, the quote that caused me to pause thinking about pursuing the optimum is, excellence is a better teacher than mediocrity. The lessons of the ordinary are everywhere. Truly profound and original insights are to be found only in studying the exemplary. And you know, I when I'm playing with these quotes and looking them up, you know, you type in different words, you find, I get on going on like a little word discovery thing, and you know, the word exemplary, I gotta say, that's just a beautiful thing. So, yeah, Warren Venus, and it's just a good time. I learned a lot, and he is considered one of the first to really institute leadership as a practice, as an institution, as something that we should be thinking about.
Right,
So that
and
was really
implementation,
Yeah.
that's what you said.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you for celebrating another carrorist. Thank you.
Yeah, look, every time I find a carrorist, I'm overjoyed. So,
Do we have a question?
I do have a question.
Okay.
The question I got was, how do you feel better? Like, how do you feel better after you make a mistake? Positive psychology practice seems easy enough.
Right, because all of us humans typically go,
Oh,
ooh, you make a mistake and you're feeling really bad.
I was just trying to hang a picture.
Feeling really bad.
That felt that there were many mistakes made.
Right.
I can't do math.
Right.
That was good. I did discover that.
So I think the first step is acceptance.
Okay.
Okay, all right. And one of the things I always tell myself is that I'm human, which you know, you can have acceptance, but then that just allows you to be in it. And from that point, I kind of have to pick and choose what healthy words to feed myself, depending on what the mistake was. But definitely forgiveness comes in like rapidly. That's the one you gotta get on next.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of tailor make your experience thereafter. But yeah, I would definitely say
it begins with forgiveness.
Acceptance.
Acceptance.
You gotta accept that you
I should be taking notes.
Made a mistake.
Acceptance, forgiveness. All right. Got it. No, you know what though?
And then and then what I typically do to prepare for the future, because you stay present, right? Which is okay, I made a mistake, which is the past, but I'm in these feelings. That feels really right now. So then you apply some forgiveness, some kindness, start feeling a little better, like, okay, I'm human, all right, cool. But now, what do I want to do for the future? For the future, I get back to whatever my goal was. Remind myself, okay, this is my goal, or maybe I need to adjust my goal.
Okay.
And then just summon up that energy and like, all right, I'm going to go after it.
Acceptance, forgiveness, kindness. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's excellent. That's excellent. And because it is true, I used to talk to kids in schools about when they tell me that they were making lots of money selling drugs, maybe $100 a month or something. And I would say, as a writer, if I make a mistake, I can erase. If you make a mistake, you are in penalty by so many individuals, right? Like you have taken on a certain kind of enterprise that, but even if you make a mistake, you should accept your circumstances. You should forgive yourself and be kind to yourself moving forward. And like you said, maybe if you make a mistake in something that has extreme penalties to it, that you transition out of it completely because you've learned from the lesson. So
and also it depends too, like it depends on what type of mistake is, but also taking responsibility for that, which would mean in some cases perhaps an apology, like an apology to yourself, heartfelt apology to if there's an individual or a group or so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But all these, another way to look at it is perhaps they're not mistakes, but it was meant to happen because it did, which we talk about that often. Like, well, it was meant to be because it happened.
Yeah.
So
you can't change the past.
Right.
It's part of this journey.
So mistake, maybe it was absolutely there for you to just get a different perspective and set a new goal for yourself. So.
All
right.
Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
It was a great insight. I'm really about to go play. I really like this notion of acceptance, forgiveness, kindness, and responsibility. I like those. So that was really great. I'm glad that question came in. It was fun to talk about.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for another fun show. And as we always say,
be kind to yourself and everyone else.
And keep on carrorising.
Goodbye.
Thank you.